Hey guys, sorry I cannot be here today to teach you, but what we're going to learn is going to cover some material that I feel leaving a video will actually be just as good as me teaching it in front of you, because some of you are familiar with this, some of you it might be slightly new, but you'll catch on, I promise. So go ahead and open up to page 41 if you are not already. And we're going to start on exponents. We're going to cover two things today, so it's 41 and 42, exponents and powers of 10. So let's go ahead and start the notes. An exponent, surprise, surprise, is a mathematical notation that implies that the number of times a number is being multiplied by itself. So in that sentence, the number of times a number is being multiplied by itself, that is the important piece of information. There are two parts to an exponent. I want to rewrite what's written here. So this says x to the y. So x is your big number, y is your small number. It's kind of not as obvious in that picture. But the x in this case we call the base, and the y we call the exponent. So the exponent is your little number, and the base is your big number. Okay, there's some examples over here on the side. So 4 to the 4th power, what that means is that we're going to multiply our base 4 times. So I have 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, and then that's going to equal 256. Negative 3 to the 3rd power means I multiply negative 3 3 times. So I have negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, and I get negative 27. Okay, so I'm still on page 41. You can show the repeated factors using something called expanded form. And if you look back in that example box above, the expanded form part is the 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 when you actually write it out. Or we can use the shortcut, the exponent shortcut, in what we call exponential form. This is the most efficient form, so that's why we have exponents, because who wants to write 100 to the 100th power? You would have to write 100 times. That's crazy. So we have this shortcut to help us be lazy, honestly. So now a few quick little pieces. Any number to the power of 1 just equals the same number. So 8 to the 1st power means that we're only multiplying 8 one time, which is why it equals 1. Any number to the power of 0 equals 1. Not 0. Because if it equaled 0, that means that we would have, actually let me back up. Since it equals 1, that's saying that I still have something there. I still am multiplying 8 times 0, so I still have one problem happening, is the way I like to remember it. So just remember that it's the base that you're multiplying, not the exponent. The exponent tells you how many times you multiply. And just a quick little tidbit, remember we want to start writing multiplication as that dot instead of the x. All right, so Mr. Ercolano, if you wouldn't mind pausing the video, everybody else, you are going to work on page 41, the group problems at the bottom of the page. And I know number 10 is a repeat. Some of you are going to say that, but I'm going to give you guys, I don't know, Mr. Ercolano, let's do 5 minutes. If you don't mind setting the timer for 5 minutes. And then I'll see you guys back in a second. All right, welcome back. We are now on page 42. And we're now on to our second topic, powers of 10. These are related to exponents, which is why we wanted to do them on the same day. So positive exponents make numbers larger. And I like to say that it keeps them as big integers, big numbers. Negative exponents make numbers smaller. And so this is actually going to make your numbers fractions. Remember, fractions are smaller than a whole, unless it's an improper fraction. But that's making your number smaller than the integer. So we have some examples. We have 10 squared. Keeping in mind what we just learned about exponents, that just means 10 times 10, which is 100. Now we have 2 cubed, meaning 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 8. And we have 8 squared, which just means 8 times 8, which equals 64. So you'll notice that it went from 10 squared to 100. Your number got larger because your exponent was positive. Now in the next example, 10 to the negative 2. What we do is we bring that negative 2 down to the denominator with the 10, and it becomes positive. So this is what I meant by it's going to make it a fraction. So now we have 1 over 10 squared, which equals 1 over 100. Fraction, again, is a smaller number. So 2 to the negative 3, bring it down. 2 cubed is 1/8. And last but not least, 8 to the negative 2, bring it down. So you have 8 squared, that is 64. So negative exponents, again, makes your numbers a fraction and makes them smaller. So I want you to take, 30 seconds, and I want you to talk to the people around you about what you notice about these two things we just talked about, positive and negative exponents. Pause the video, 30 seconds starts now. Okay, so something that you noticed, I want you to write in that box, okay? You can write down something somebody else said, you can write down something you said, something that clicked with you, but basically what I'm going to write is negative exponents go down and equal the positive form. What I mean by that is 2 cubed equaled 8. 2 to the negative 3 equaled 1 over 8. So it still equaled 8, it just happened to make it a fraction. So I maybe didn't word that well, so if you want to reword it, you can. But that's what I mean by what I wrote. Okay, before I let you loose on these as a group problems, I want to help you figure out how to fill out this table because it's a little funky looking. We're going to do 10 cubed together and 10 to the negative 4th together. You'll do all the other ones by yourself. So first it's asking me to write my numbers in expanded form. So I have 10 cubed, which means 10 times 10 times 10. So it's 10 3 times. The fraction form of that would be 1,000 over 1. The decimal form of that is just 1,000, because remember, every number in the world has a decimal point that follows it. It's just we don't typically write it. Okay? Now for 10 to the negative 4th, what that's going to look like in expanded form is 1 over 10 times 1 over 10 times 1 over 10 times 1 over 10. So fraction form, that's 1 over 10 to the 4th, which equals 1 over 10,000. So I just remember that there's 4 zeros because it's to the 4th power. And that trick also works for 10 cubed. There's 3 zeros because it's to the 3rd power. This as a decimal we need it to go to the 10,000th place. So 0.0001. And again, I have 4 zeros total. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, including that front one in front of the decimal, if that trick helps you. So with these next few minutes, I would like for you to please finish the group problems on the bottom of page 42 and do the group problems on page 43. And then check your answers on Google Classroom with your group, and you can check your answers for all of the group problems we did today. And let's go ahead and do, we'll do a 10-minute timer. And Mr. Ercolano, if that's too long, you can stop it early. Whoa. So go ahead and pause the video, and we're going to have 10 minutes. Okay, so hopefully you checked your answers, worked as a group, all of that. You guys did an awesome job, I hope, which this class is awesome anyway, so I'm sure you did wonderful. We are going to move into an activity. So there's plastic sleeves at the front of the room by the lap desks, and you need to grab the ones that are on bright orange paper, okay? So what I need someone to do is set those up around the room for me, and typically you know where I put them. They're on the tables or something like that. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to stay in the groups you're in. Each group is going to receive just one recording sheet, and then your teacher will tell you where you're going to start, and we're actually going to be doing a relay race today. So the relay race is going to... Sorry, I was reading that. The relay race is going to be you working as a team to complete the piece of paper in the plastic sleeve. And when I say working as a team, I mean everybody is contributing. It is not one person taking over, because it's important that everyone understands what's going on. So you're going to answer all of the questions. If you're at Station A, they go in the Station A answer space. And then when you finish all of those problems, you move to the next one. All of these are matching, so you have to figure out what it equals on the left and the right. Once you finish one sheet, your whole team moves to the next one, and it's at that point, it is your choice where you're going to go. You need to go to an empty relay sheet, and I guess I lied. I'm going to be hanging them around the room, not in plastic sleeves. Clearly, I haven't done it yet. Sorry, guys. So there are going to be 2 of them around the room. So just make sure that whenever you're moving to the next sheet, you're not at Station A again if you were just at Station A. I did that so there was enough for everybody. Once your team finishes all of the stations, you need to return to your original seats, or when the time runs out, you need to return to your original seat. Okay, so today for our Act, Talk, Move, you are acting, you are on task, working well with others. All group members are contributing and helping. I would like for you to pass off who's writing the answers so it's not the same person every time. For talking, you are talking at a yellow light voice. Remember, that means that only your group can hear you. And for moving, you are walking to the next station. I know we can kind of get amped up to try to be the first done, but you are walking with all of your team members, so nobody is left behind. And next class, when I find out who the winner is, there will be a prize. So first group done, or the team that actually gets them the most correct. So I will let Mr. Ercolano go over the scoring space, and I will also let him decide how much time to put on this activity. Have an awesome day. Be very good for Mr. Ercolano, and I will see you guys later.